We look to the heavens for hope, guidance in a world of uncertainty. Within our universe, a mighty star shines bright over us and reflects itself to enlighten our darkness. It is from that star that our very molecules are born, boundless and bright. That mighty star commands a universe of stars that bear witness to our history and are attached to our ideas of the future. In these stars, we find our beginnings. In these stars, we learn of our endings.
Hello and welcome to another episode of In the Stars with Dwayne. I'm your host, Dwayne Dunleavy, and welcome. We are now going to be going into our Leos, but we're going to start with Cancer, our Cancer recap from our last episode, because this episode's coming out at the end of May, just when the Geminis are just getting out of there and coming into the Cancer. So Cancer, you guys are a water sign. You rule on the internet the color white, but in my education it's become red and yellow have been the colors of Cancer. June 21st to July 22nd is when the Cancers are, and your Monday and Thursday are your weekdays. Your ruler is the moon, and your lucky numbers are 2, 3, 15, and 20. So the Cancer, the water sign, very emotional, can have dry skin, can be very good at jobs that require accounting, categorization, mothering kind of aspect. And also in love, they're very emotional. They need to be really taken care of in the way of being told of how the partner's emotions are, but it may take a little bit to get theirs out, because while they're very sensitive and emotional, it's also hard to crack that shell and sometimes to gain their trust. So they fall in love easily, but it might not be so easy to gain their trust. They are great parents and great children, but they may cry a lot. They may have a lot of emotional stuff going on. And in my experience, Cancers love things that are more square in design as opposed to things that are round or swirly in design. So do with that what you will. And let's move on to Leos. So Leo is from July 23rd to August 22nd. It's one of those rare signs that starts on a 23rd of a month. So July 23rd to August 22nd, some of them think they're Cancers because they are, on the cusp there. So, and then all the way to August 22nd. So you guys are in that middle of the summertime, and that makes sense because Leo is ruled by the sun. So they are a fire element. The colors are gold, yellow, and orange because those are the colors of the sun. They are a fixed sign. So that means they can be stubborn but determined and really get things done, action-oriented people. And their greatest compatibilities are going to be with Aquarius and Gemini. But you can also look toward the Sagittarius, also the Aries, and the Scorpios, actually, believe it or not, are usually really good with Leos if they can just remain trusting each other, which can be a hard thing to do. So Leos, you guys rule that sun, anything that shines in that bright goldish kind of sparkly colors. The tarot card that's associated with Leo is the sun. So it's actually a picture, as you can see, of a little child riding a horse in the sun. And that tarot card represents material wealth, joyousness, happiness, and good things happening. So that is the sun card, which corresponds to Leo. And of course, everybody usually knows, but the Leo symbol is the lion. So in astrology, the Leo symbol is the lion. And somebody looked at that constellation and thought, that looks like a lion, most of the time I don't see, well, some of the time I see it, and I guess you can say that the little tail looks like it's coming from a lion. So, but that's what it is. And Leos are usually really all over the movie business, music. There's a lot of famous Leos out there. We've got Chris Hemsworth, Jennifer Lopez, Dua Lipa, Jason Momoa. I knew all of these. Jennifer Lawrence, Neil Armstrong, Mila Kunis, Shawn Mendes. I knew that one. Sandra Bullock and Whitney Houston. Daniel Radcliffe, I didn't know, but actually, and J.K. Rowling. So both of them are Leos. So they tend to, they're fire signs again, so they are productive people, and they usually really love adoration. They love to be recognized. A lot of Leos are really good in front of a camera, so normally Leos have a natural ability to shine in front of a camera. But if you ask a Leo, they might say, no, I'm not good in front of a camera, that kind of a thing. The other thing about Leos that I've noticed is that their hair is very important to them. So usually people, the Leos with long hair, like a lion's mane, they don't like it when people would mess with their hair. They don't have multiple different hairstylists. They usually choose one hairstylist and stick with that person because they trust that they're going to do what they want. Some of the strengths of a Leo are that they are creative, compassionate, generous, warm-hearted, cheerful, humorous. Usually a lot of Leos are funny. Their weaknesses can be that they are arrogant, stubborn, a little self-centered, or maybe a lot, lazy like cats, and inflexible. So they want to do something, they want to get it done the way that they want it done. So those are the things that are associated with the sign Leo. If that's your sun sign, it doesn't mean everything, because you might have other signs in your chart that are much more affecting you. Now, their dislikes are being ignored, facing difficult realities, and not being treated like a king or a queen. So, what does that tell you? They're all about making sure that they are respected, but it doesn't come from a bad place. They really do like, um, they love themselves. And so they feel like if they love themselves and respect themselves, why shouldn't other people? The things they love: theater, taking vacations, being admired, of course, expensive things Leos love. They love bright colors, and they love having fun with their friends. They usually have a group of friends that they love to hang out with. Also, in the Leo world, when it comes to Leo men and women, just like the wild cats in nature, the female lion is the one that stays home the male lion is the one that stays home in the cave with the babies, and the female lion goes out and does the hunting. So the same thing can happen in life. The female cat women, if you will, tend to be real go-getters, go out there and do things, get things done. Whereas the male Leos can be a little bit more home-oriented, introverted a little bit more, or wanting to more nest, as opposed to the female Leo. They also love sparkly things. So usually Leos will be attracted to anything that's sparkly, whereas sometimes Capricorns might look at sparkly things and just think, oh gosh, no, I can't imagine that. Or Virgo, that kind of a thing. But a Leo usually will look at something sparkly and be so drawn to it because it really represents to them their inner self. And they tend to do great in jobs that are in front of the camera, but they also tend to do great things with numbers. For some reason, Leos are great with numbers. They're really good at doing math in their head. They're really good at investments, stocks, bonds, those types of things. So keep that in mind if you are a Leo. The quality is fixed. We talked about that. The day of the week is Sunday. Makes sense, right? Sun day. They're ruled by the sun. Their greatest compatibilities are going to be Aquarius and Gemini, but like I said, Sagittarius, all the fire signs are usually good with each other. If you have a Leo child, Now, the Leo child sometimes is very introverted because they have to grow into that understanding of being in front of the camera or being looked at or acknowledged. So, if you have a Leo child who's not naturally extroverted, you might want to figure out ways of pulling them out of their shell a little bit, getting them to open up and to be okay with doing things in front of people or showing people their talents and that type of a thing. Um, like I said, when it comes to math, usually the kids, Leo kids, are good with math. Um, Now, we always talk about the sun signs, and not just this being the sun ruled sign, but the sun sign is just your date of birth. So if you just know what that is, then that's you're only getting one small part of your entire chart. Now you can get your entire full natal chart by going online and just look for free natal or birth chart, and you need the time of your birth, the date of your birth, and location of your birth, and that will give you your entire chart, which tells you all your planets, your sun, your moon, your rising. And now keep in mind also that when we get into these different types of the parts of the year, so when we get into this time of Leo, July 23rd to August 22nd, even if you are not a Leo, the entire world is being affected by that Leo constellation being right over us. So, what you can expect from that time is if you want to make the best of it, you want to be more outgoing, that's the time to do it. That might be the time to wear something that has gold in it to bring that Leo energy to you and to the situations going on around you. Now, to attract a Leo man, the Leo man loves to be treated like a king, as he believes he should, of course. Loves to give gifts when they are really in love, and they love compliments. What they need is a lot of praise, even if they are very proud and really, you know, have a healthy uh, perception of themselves, let's say, you still want to praise them and give them a lot of compliments. When you treat a Leo man the way he wants to be treated, he'll be there forever. He'll never leave once he finds that balance between being loved and loving. So you want to keep that in mind. When it comes to Leo men, they rarely will choose a woman or a partner who's an opposite that doesn't go well with their visual appearance. So if you don't look good with them, they chances are they're not going to want to further a relationship with you because they really want that connection to be of all around aesthetically pleasing usually. Now, do you want to attract a Leo woman? The best way to do that is to let them know how much they are desired. They also love the compliments. They love that royal treatment. So if you are just starting to date or want to date a Leo woman, a trip to the spa, lots of flowers. They love to be showered with gifts and brought to fancy restaurants, and all of that kind of thing. They can be a bit domineering. So if you are someone who wants to further a relationship with a Leo, it might be in your best interest to be a little bit more, or actually a little bit less domineering and be a little bit more subservient is the word I'm coming, but that's not really the word that I'm looking for. Submissive, a little bit more submissive. I'm not saying change your whole life and everything, but let them know that you're willing to allow them to dominate a little bit, and it'll go further. Think Catwoman, all right? And whether that partner is male or female, they're going to be looking for someone to give them that feeling of I can dominate in a healthy, safe way, and this person is not being upset, by it, and all of that kind of thing. Now, some famous Leos, of course, like I said, they are the people that you can see have lived this huge Leo kind of life. They usually have drama and big events around them. Jennifer Lopez is an example. So many people. Dua Lipa, who is right now one of the biggest stars. Jason Momoa, another one. Jennifer Lawrence. All people that are really They're beautiful. People want to look at them, but they have a domineering quality about them, but they're likable still. So that's another good thing. And if you look at any of their careers and how they started, Madonna too was a Leo. So she started out in a very dramatic way. She went to New York with like $100 in her pocket or something and did all this crazy stuff and went to Paris and then became one of the world's biggest star. Who knows? And now is a billionaire. So that is, usually the Leo life is filled with drama and all kinds of exciting stuff. And that can be a good thing for them too. Obviously, it's fun and we love to look at it. Now, coming up in our next episode is going to be the Virgos. So, you Virgos, I have a lot of experience with you, and that is the sign of the Virgin. As you can see in the cards, they tend to be represented by one person, and the constellation itself, of course, does not look like a person to me. I've always tried to figure out what it was about that constellation that makes it look like a virgin or, a single person. So, who knows? The tarot card associated with you Virgos is the Hermit, and you'll know what I mean when I say that. It's all about introspection, being all about learning about yourself from the inside out. The sign Virgo is an earth sign. The colors that go with Virgo are usually, I believe it's white because it's all about purity and cleanliness and all of that. But online, if you look it up, it says gray, beige, pale yellow, all of that kind of stuff. Now, they are a mutable sign. Virgos are mutable, so that means that they are more flexible, open to change things other than the other earth signs. Now, they can be very stubborn still and very hard-headed, but they are the most flexible of the earth signs. The ruler is Mercury. Gemini is also ruled by Mercury, so that's a combination there. Day of the week for Virgo is Wednesday. Their greatest compatibility is going to be with Pisces and Cancer, though both water signs. The Virgo likes to be the one that is the stable one, even if they don't necessarily feel it all the time. Lucky numbers for Virgo are 5, 14, 15, 23, and 32. Your dates, of course, are Virgo are August 23rd to September 22nd. So if you're not sure what your sun sign is, based on your birth date, that's what they are. And we're going to talk all about the Virgos. They tend to have a lot of categorizational skills. They love to be able to categorize things. They can be very critical, judgmental, but that can help in things like theater or design or anything that requires a critical eye. If you're looking to edit newspapers or magazines, that type of thing. They also tend to find something and then collect it. So whether that be stamps, antiques, books, or even they might like to collect even household items. So let's say there's a specific dishwashing liquid that's used in your home, and you have a Virgo there. They might go buy 4 or 5 of those bottles of dishwashing liquid to make sure that nobody is ever out of that thing that they need. So keep that in mind about the Virgos. And good luck to all of you Leos, because this is your time of year. So it's party time. Everybody's going to be getting together and you're looking forward to that. And I'm sure the rest of the world, no matter what your sign is. But like I said, if you want to bring in any of the energy of whatever sign we're in, all you have to do is think about these different characteristics that we talk about, the different colors associated with them, the different days of the week, the different minerals, those types of things, and bring those things to yourself at those times. And that's what brings about that energy. So if you need some Leo energy, and a lot of people do, a lot of people seem to really need to get that energy to be okay with showing themselves, with being in front of the camera. Even me right now, if I wanted to have more of the ability to be on camera like this and get my point across in a really good way, then doing it during the time of Leo is going to be really great. Or I could bring in some gold into this with me or things like that. So think about how you can inject some of these characteristics of the different signs into your life. And that's how it makes it all work. Plus, as we're always saying here, get your chart done, because you may have Leo in your chart. And then if you're a Virgo, let's say, but you always somehow resonate with what is said about the Leos, you might have 3 or 4 planets in Leo, and then that would be where you want to look when you're doing your horoscopes and that type of a thing. Not a lot of people know that it goes so deep, but astrology is over 3,000 years old, and it's all based on the movement of those planets and our planet, which shows the different constellations and the energies coming through in those areas. So that's basically how it works. If you're not sure, if you're just watching this episode and it's the first time you've ever seen In the Stars with Dwayne, make sure you go back to our first episode where I explained, at least my theory, on how it all works, because it is something that is intangible, and it's not really, I don't even know if it would be possible to prove if any of this is workable or actually feasible. But in my experience, it has been. I'm constantly hoping that it will show itself or prove itself to be wrong. But every time I turn around, all of the stuff that comes from the different astrological readings and movements of the planets and stuff, it all works out. And it all comes down to water. So if you go back to that first episode, you'll see what the explanation of those things are. So we've gone over Cancer, we've gone over Leo, and we've started to go over Virgo. Don't miss our next episode about Virgos. And then once we get through Virgo, we are going to get into Libras and Scorpios, and then back to me, which is Sagittarius. And then we're going to move on to doing all of the rest of the tarot cards and going into some other areas. So it's very exciting. Thank you guys for watching, and please tell all of your friends, and keep an eye out. In our next episode, I'm going to be telling you guys how to get your own customized t-shirt with your chart on it, which I just got, but I got something on it and I had to clean it. So I'm going to show you in the next one. Thank you guys for watching In the Stars with Dwayne. I'm your host, Dwayne Dunleavy. Keep looking up.